Alright then, so this is everything laid out right in front of you. You got your crappie fillets, cleaned of course. Go ahead and throw those right in the food processor. Once you're done with those, you might want to clean the bowl off so you can use it later. I forget to do that at that moment. Next thing, 1 egg is all I'm using here. You can obviously use more if you have a bigger batch, but add that right into the crappie fillets. Now before you mix anything else together, you want to kind of, well, first off, clean your hands off like I'm doing right now before you touch your food processor. But you're going to want to chop it up just a little bit. Once you get to the point of doing this more than once or twice, the very first time it's going to take a little bit of eyeing up real closely and paying fairly close attention to how small your chunks are. But you'll see I'm just going to pulse it here a couple times. I've done this enough times that I just kind of do it by feel. Pulse a couple times and then run it on, low for a couple seconds. The idea is just to get it mixed together really good. You're not necessarily chopping it up now. Now this is the breading. This is a pre-made mix that I have. It's got panko, tempura, a little bit of cornmeal in it, and what is it? Flour and some seasoning. Basically, the way you like it. It's the same thing as, almost the same thing as making breading for your fish. You're just combining it. Now, before you add the milk, you want to mix this together real good, and this is where you chop it up to making it, the consistency you need it to be. So you'll see I kind of, watch it here and pay really close attention to where I'm at as far as the size of it is. So that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm just watching it. Like I said, I've done this enough times that I kind of just watch it and know. Same thing here. Normally you'd measure this quarter cup or a little bit more, but that's kind of eyeballing it, maybe a half a cup. But the thing is, you're really looking for consistency here. I just mix it up really good at this point. The idea is to get your crappie chunks down to like pea-sized chunks, maybe a little bit bigger. Somebody might say like a raisin-sized chunk, but if you make them too big, then it won't hold itself together. You make them too small, and then, well, really you can't make them too small, and then it just blends it in. But the consistency you really want to be right in that pea size to, I guess you could say like peanut size. Now here's where I have to go rinse out that bowl because I'm going to be using it for putting my stuff in, and would have been nice to clean it earlier. So once you guys get used to it, you'll get like a method going. This is the first time I filmed this, so this is how I'm getting it done in this order. Almost exactly right. I mean, I got the consistency down. As you'll see here, see how it sticks to it really nicely? Not falling off the spoon. That's exactly the consistency you're looking for. Basically, it makes the best patties or crab cakes. Basically, is what we're making with crappie. Now, this is pure vegetable oil. What I like to do is get a good coating on the bottom of the pan. You'll see I just coat it just enough, a quarter inch. Some people like to deep fry them. I just like to have, just enough. No reason to overdo it. So that's the mix. Now, I just know by heat, but I'm sure there's a formula for how hot it needs to be before you can start cooking. I usually have my stove on medium to just 1 over medium because it's an electric stove. Here's the important part. Squeeze the patties down, work them in your hands until they're smooth. They shouldn't be sticking to you like glue, but you'll see I kind of got a little method here. The key is to try and get them down to a little bit less than a half inch at most, because you want it to cook all the way through. And as you'll see coming up, I don't really have a time frame that I cook these in because they can vary just depending on how thick the patty is. You see there, it's about a half inch thick. Made these ones kind of thick. So you just set it in there, let it fry for a little while. I usually walk away or start cleaning up some of my stuff right now. Um, I believe I timed it at one point and it was around 5 minutes aside. But you'll see I already had flipped it. But you're looking for that golden brown. Um, Basically, you don't want it black, obviously, and you work your way back from there. But be careful when flipping these because you can splash a bunch of stuff around. As you see here, I'm just kind of splashing some of the hot stuff into the middle because for whatever reason, the centers of a cake don't ever cook consistently with the outside. I'm going to put it on that they're sunken in so it doesn't have the same heat. And that is how I make crappie cakes. They're delicious. Now go make yourself some.